right now, for example, the Haitians need to come to America.
Hi everyone, make sure you check out my live stream links down below, along with my Patreon, where I have more content on there that I don't post here.
Hi, how's it going?
Oh, pleased to meet you.
Yeah, ditto.
Hi.
Oh, not naked. Oh,
What's the
Homer.
matter?
Today I'm going to be reacting to actor bloopers.
In Casino, Robert De Niro was supposed to fire an incompetent employee with the line, "You're firing yourself." Instead, he accidentally says,
You're firing me?
I'm firing you. No, I'm not firing. I'm firing you.
The slip-up is subtle, but his quick glance at Don Rickles right after makes it
Kinda
clear he
gave it
knows he
away.
messed up. It's a
Yeah.
rare flub from De Niro, but the take felt real, so they kept it in the movie.
No, I'm not firing. I'm firing you.
Haven't seen, really, I can't think of a single De Niro movie, but yes, I hear that he's a legend, so it's interesting that some of the only things that I've seen of him is this blooper of a legend who's, you know,
In Twin Peaks, during the pilot episode, the actor playing the morgue attendant misheard a line and mistakenly thought Dale Cooper was asking for his name, creating an awkward but memorable moment that David Lynch liked so much he kept it in the final cut.
Would you leave us, please?
Jim.
Would you leave us alone, please?
Oh, certainly.
oh yeah,
In
that
Days of
felt
Thunder,
genuine.
during a scene where Michael Rooker's character introduces his wife to Tom Cruise, she accidentally says his real name instead of calling him by his character's name.
Nice to meet you. Hi, nice to meet you. Hi, Carl.
Hey, Jenny.
In A Shot in the Dark,
Wait, what?
Peter Sellers tries to accuse Benjamin Ballin of murder, but accidentally mixes up his words, saying,
and killed him in a writ of fellas jade.
the actual line was "fit of jealous rage." The unintentional slip, delivered with complete confidence, made the scene even funnier, so it was kept in the final cut.
And killed him in a writ of fellas jade.
In Batman
Wow.
Forever, Val
was
Kilmer's
rough.
Batman was supposed to say circus, but he slurs it as,
Tell me, Doctor, do you like the circus?
the mispronunciation makes the line sound odd and unintentionally funny. It's a small moment, but once you notice it, you can't unhear it.
Tell me, Doctor, do you like the circus?
The circus one really wasn't even messed up enough for to think of it as a blooper, but I suppose enunciation is important, or how he pronounces it is a little slurred, but I mean, I didn't even notice that she uses his real name one. I couldn't hear her to make it out. Maybe that's why they left it in there. They said it was for a different reason, but also because it doesn't really feel very noticeable. I'm looking for it. It's specifically told to be a blooper, and I still missed it.
In the 1997 TV series Hercules: The Legendary Journeys, actor
What?
Kevin Sorbo had an unintentional but hilarious blooper that made it into internet history. In one scene, Hercules is supposed to express disappointment, but instead of acting it out, he literally reads the stage direction aloud.
This isn't my world. Disappointed!
The mistake became a cult favorite, especially because of how seriously he delivers the line.
Disappointed!
In Saturday Night Live, Samuel L.
Don's dead.
Jackson appeared to drop an F-bomb during the What Up sketch. He later claimed he only said "fuh" and blamed Kenan Thompson for not cutting him off in time.
Man, hey! Come on now. That costs money.
In Ant-Man, one of the funniest moments in the training scene was completely improvised. When Evangeline Lilly punches Paul Rudd during their sparring session, he jokingly responds,
Were you going for the hand?
This line wasn't in the original script. Rudd made it up on the spot. Lilly loved the unexpected joke, and the take was so perfect that the filmmakers decided to keep it in the movie.
All right, princess, let's get back to work.
Oh, that's cool. Whenever actors or actresses just feel comfortable enough to kind of go for a line, make a joke. Because if you really don't like it, it's not that much harm done, especially if it's a scene that's easily recreatable. The "fa" one was funny too, because he tries to get away with it by saying, well, if you just cut me off in time, then it wouldn't have happened. I guess how it works is because of the delay, he did say "fa," but it was enough for someone to think, oh, he cursed, let me put a bleep over it so like everybody else hears that. But that actually makes people believe even more so that he just said the full-on word because he bleeped it out.
In Hannibal Season 3, Gillian Anderson got so caught up in a kiss with Mads Mikkelsen that she completely forgot her next line. Though it didn't make it into the final cut, the moment was captured in a blooper.
Line?
In Titanic,
Well, that's
when
why.
Jack tells Rose to lie over on the bed was actually a mistake. Leonardo DiCaprio misspoke but stayed in character, and James Cameron kept it in because it felt natural.
Over on the bed, the couch.
You can even see DiCaprio almost curse under his breath, realizing his slip-up, which unintentionally makes Jack seem even more nervous in front of Rose.
Over on the bed, the couch.
In Chinatown, John Huston accidentally mispronounced Jake Gittes' name as Gitz, but director Roman Polanski kept the mistake in the film, since it unintentionally suited the character's demeanor.
The future, Mr. Gitz. The future.
Similarly, in Clueless, Alicia Silverstone came up with pronouncing Haitians that way. She actually thought it was pronounced that way, and the director thought it was so funny that she declined to correct her.
Like right now, for example, the Haitians need to come to America.
Oh, I love that. Pronounced it like Canadians. The irony. Clueless. Fun. Leonardo DiCaprio, he looks so young. It's funny too because that is a perfect moment for him to mess up his lines because he's nervous. So him saying bed but then correcting himself to the couch, to saying couch, goes along with it perfectly. So that's cool how they were also thinking the same thing of, oh, some of the mistakes that people make are more genuine and perfect than the strict lines with no mistakes or stuttering or corrections in a scene where somebody would probably get a little nervous and trip up on their words.
In Diner, when Eddie asks Boogie to settle a debate on the best makeout music, he's stunned when Boogie picks Elvis Presley over Frank Sinatra or Johnny Mathis, causing Guttenberg to stumble over his next line.
Who do you pick? Sinatra or Matt?
Presley.
You've gone like 2 steps below in my book.
It was a real mistake that made his frustration feel more natural, and Daniel Stern's genuine spit take made it even better. Director Barry Levinson decided to keep it in the film.
You've gone like 2 steps below in my book.
In The Dark Knight, Michael Caine was so shocked by Heath Ledger's intense performance as the Joker that he forgot his lines during the penthouse scene. Since he had never met Ledger before, the actor's sudden entrance genuinely startled him. The pronunciation of gigawatts as gigawatts in Back to the Future wasn't actually a flub by Christopher Lloyd.
21 gigawatts!
The filmmakers consulted an electrician who told them that gigawatts was a legitimate pronunciation at the time.
1.21 gigawatts!
So while it may sound like a mistake to modern audiences, it was actually an informed choice that ended up becoming one of the movie's most iconic lines.
1.21 gigawatts!
The gigawatts one is actually so interesting because then that makes it more authentic, but there's going to be so many people who actually think, well, that kind of just makes it funny because he's clearly supposed to be a genius or in that field in some way. Shouldn't he be pronouncing it right? And it's like, well, the ironic thing is he is, and you don't know that because he is. But being offended, he gives him 2 options, but then he says Elvis Presley. It is really funny too. Slightly confused though, because if that at least was his genuine line, and he wasn't supposed to give one or the other, well, maybe he was supposed to give one of them, and that was written in there, and he was supposed to say, you're 2 steps below in my book, but him just going outside of that and also naming Elvis Presley because he's apparently way lower than the 2 options is what made him laugh, I guess. I'm not really sure.
In The Goonies, after Brandon insists there's nothing under the basement floor, Mikey accidentally calls him Josh instead of Brandon. A clear slip, since Brandon is played by Josh Brolin.
Nothing buried under there.
There's something buried under there.
In Boogie Nights, William Macy's character, Little Bill, is repeatedly humiliated by his unfaithful wife. In one scene, he walks outside to find her cheating on him yet again, and in his frustration, he tries to say, "My fucking wife's on the driveway with a cock in her ass." But Macy accidentally jumbles the line, mixing up the words in a way that makes Little Bill sound even more flustered and overwhelmed.
My fucking wife has an in her in the driveway, Kurt.
Director Paul Thomas Anderson thought the mistake fit the character perfectly and decided to keep it in the final cut.
Okay, no big deal. Sorry.
In Zoolander, during the cemetery scene, David Duchovny's character talks about how the fashion industry was behind all the big political murders of the past 100 years. Ben Stiller's character asks,
So why male models?
Duchovny explains, but Zoolander asks again.
But why male models?
It turned out that Ben Stiller just forgot his next line and just repeated the previous one. Staying in character, Duchovny decided to improvise and said,
But why male models?
You serious? I just told you that a moment ago.
Zoolander one sounds perfect. I haven't seen it, but it does totally seem fitting to his character to just not listen. The wife cheating one seems a bit intense. But yes, again, understandable. Probably flustered. You're gonna say something's in wet and the wife in the driveway. Yeah, a little flustered.
In the room, the infamous Guerrero Street line was actually improvised by Greg Sestero. Tommy Wiseau kept laughing before delivering his next line, despite the scene being about domestic abuse. To stop him from laughing, Sestero added the Guerrero Street detail, knowing Tommy owned a condo there and would take it seriously.
I used to know a girl. She had a dozen guys. One of them found out about it, beat her up so bad she ended up in a hospital on Guerrero Street.
It worked. Wiseau finally kept a straight face, making this the only usable take, which is why it ended up in the final film.
Beat her up so bad she ended up in a hospital on Guerrero Street.
What a story, Mark.
In The Dark Knight Rises, the opening airplane scene features an unintentionally iconic exchange between Bane and a CIA agent.
If I pull that off, will you die?
It would be extremely painful.
When asked if removing his mask would cause pain, Bane was supposed to say, "For you," in reference to the agony he would experience. However, Tom Hardy misinterpreted the line, delivering it as a response to being called a big guy instead.
You're a big guy.
For you.
The awkward delivery took on a life of its own, spawning countless memes and cementing itself as one of the film's most memorable moments.
You're a big guy.
For you.
Oh yeah, that kind of sounds a bit different. It's way more of a predictable line though, for if I take off your mask, will you die? It will be really painful. Kind of just expected the "for you" to actually come after that before he even said anything about how that was the line. So it's nice that you're expecting it. It's an expectable line. It doesn't come, but then it weirdly comes after he says, "Oh, you're a big guy. For you, I might be a big guy. To you, in your perspective." Wait, is that, hold on. So it is awkward, and that does probably make it blow up. So then the scene's even more iconic. So it was a good idea to leave that in there too. Yeah, I hope that you guys liked this video. If you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe. Go check out my links, and I'll see you all next time.